So this is my video response to the early childhood literacy video we all got to watch. I liked this video a lot because I felt like it made connections with all of the classes we're taking in Immersion 1, ESL methods, language art methods, and assessment and instructional equality specifically. Basically with literacy, they really emphasized that we should present strategies and literacy skills that are familiar to our students and relatable for them and make a connection to their own culture. That was definitely the main emphasis of the video, which I think it's great. I think that in order for our students to have a lower affective filter and feel comfortable in our classrooms is by, allowing them to incorporate a little piece of themselves in the classroom. That way, overall learning is promoted and increased, and we create just this image of a community where our ultimate goal is learning and we're there to support each other. Definitely, they suggested that we improve literacy skills by lowering the teacher talk and having more student talk and allowing them more opportunities to read and write with their peers and, have this meaningful discussion and this negotiative meaning with each other so that literacy acquisition is heightened, which I think is great. And they suggested this through choral reading with the class to build fluency, and also shared reading with the teacher. That way, the teacher isn't up in front just instructing and talking away, that there's some student input and there's also some student accountability. We learn best when we learn together, I feel like, and it's not very effective for someone to be standing in front of the classroom talking away because, students drift all the time. Another way to empower students to read is to incorporate pictures. There was this story that they wrote together on the chart on like a chartboard, and it was, incorporating pictures of the letter B. So they would cover up the word bear or bee and have a picture. That way when it came time to reading and build a fluency, that the students, even if they didn't know what the word said, they'd remember it by the picture. Reading and writing is hard, especially if you're in ELL. So images definitely help transition that, empower students to read and give them the confidence to at least try, even if they don't know. A great way to improve literacy skills and connect to their culture is actually this really cool exercise where the teachers had them bring in a picture of their families and share it with the classroom, which I think is great. Each child got a day to go up in the author's chair, the rocking chair, and just share a picture of their family and where they come from and, give a little piece of what their home life is like. And she also said, this gives an opportunity for students who have different family dynamics to share because, we want to build a community and a classroom culture of acceptance and diversity. And if students didn't bring in a picture, didn't have a picture, the parents were too busy to give a picture, that's cool because they can just draw it, not every family is going to be the same, and it's a great expression of themselves. We need to give students that time to do that, and it's okay not to have a picture because it's okay to be different, which that's actually a direct quote from the video, which I thought was really great. And this exercise is a way for students to learn respect and create a comfortable environment by accepting our differences and creating this concept that the classroom is one big family, which is great. If students' affective filters are high, especially ELLs, they're not going to acquire language. They're not going to be literate if they're afraid to speak out loud, if they're not comfortable sharing their ideas with the teacher and with each other. And I think that's where learning comes from, learning from each other, not just from an instructor, but also from the meaningful conversations and dialogue that happens in a classroom, especially in higher levels. Definitely in elementary, but I know in college a lot, especially in Immersion 1, we're constantly learning from each other by our conversation. So I thought that was a really cool exercise. For assessment, their suggestion was portfolios, not just from 1 year, but from preschool to high school, which I thought was really cool because you really get to visually see the growth and development over time. It's great for conferences because their parents can. And what portfolios ultimately do is allow students to understand themselves as a learner so that they continue to learn and grow. And it's in a positive light because they get to see where they developed from, you know, step A, and now they're all the way up here and are becoming better readers and writers. And I think it's empowering, you know, for students to see that, and it gives them incentive and motivation to continue their and further their education, which is great. In order to acquire language for ELLs, you really need a strong foundation in L1 to get to L2. That was definitely emphasized in the video. And culture is a part of their life, whether they're in home or in the classroom. That's essential. And a way they did this was they introduced a wide variety of music and games within the classroom. They, you know, looked up and researched other cultures so that students can gain this global perspective. They explained in the ELL part of the video that sound analysis comes first, and then reading and writing. But with reading and writing, it's essential that ELLs are understanding the comprehension piece and not just sound analysis piece. And they did this through a lot of different books that, you know, send a message to our students. So I thought that this video was really great in explaining literacy, especially with ELLs, and incorporating culture and promoting an anti-bias and a multicultural education.